So you want to play Zelda or Dragon Quest in a tabletop game, and you want mechanics that'll take you further than just one confined story? Well, I have the game for you. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Sacred Art of Gaming, and something that I love just as much as tabletop gaming is video games, especially old school video games that bring me back to my childhood. And that's exactly what Twilight Sword does. And boy, does it do it in some interesting ways. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. This is the beta, still a work in progress. Be ready to get your pants knocked off by some amazing art. Blown away by it. Not all of it. Well, all of it's amazing. I'm just not gonna show you all of it, but I'm gonna show you some. You can't handle all of it all at once. It's just too good. So this game is by Two Little Mice, and it did great on Kickstarter. Now that I've seen what they're cooking up, no pun intended, you'll see why. I have no regrets over kickstarting that, despite wanting to stop kickstarting. Let's start by making a champion. So what you're gonna do when you make a champion, you have your name and origin, your kin and your kin feat that comes with that, your ability scores, which is pretty straightforward, your hearts and your stamina, very Zelda-esque, the way that you take, which is kind of like your class, and then your class feat, we'll say, your gear and armor, and then who in your party is going to get the boon. We'll get into that. So a lot of cool kins that we have here. Before we get into the kins though, you have your origins, which is really just like, are you awakened, a stranger, chosen, stuff like that, an heir. You have your kin, which are Huma, which the most widespread kin. Humas are extremely versatile, pretty standard stuff there. The Kedai, and sorry if I'm saying any of this wrong, half the height of a Huma, they're agile and nimble catfolk. The Pengu, the tallest snow-capped peaks, are home to the Pengus, giant penguin people. The Strix, they are of all shapes and sizes, but all of them have round, dark heads, shiny eyes, and a natural talent for magic. Those might sound familiar. And then your Taluna. The horned Taluna hail from the coast and boast striking muscles and innate physical prowess. That's what I went with for my starting kin. And my starting kin has physical prowess. You gain +1 stamina. You like warm places and can endure hot. That's gonna go into your traveling mechanics more than you may think. You've got your abilities, which are strength, agility, vitality, perception, will, knowledge, charisma, and stealth. I think those are mostly straightforward. The only thing that may be a little different that you're not used to is that perception is going to be used for shooting. Which some games do, but some games don't. A lot of games don't. A lot of games probably use agility, but agility here is going to be run, jump, climb, swim, dodge attacks. I think that was probably wise, I think. Perception can be kind of strong though. Senses, searching, shooting. Strength is melee weapons, agility is dodging, vitality is resisting poison and stun, perception shooting, will, casting spells, and there's other stuff too. I'm just kind of going off the main thing. Knowledge, also casting spells. I think probably the different types of spells. There's like blessings and spells. And then charisma, also casting spells. So it depends on the spell probably. And then stealth, pick, locks, and pockets. Then your ability scores. You have 56 points in total. You can put them wherever you want, but they give you a starting array of 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9 being a varied one. I started by wanting to do my own, but then as I'm doing it, I realized you could only have 1 9. High is good because we want to roll under. Because of that, the array makes complete sense. So obviously for my character being a strong character, I went with a strength of 9, 8 agility, 8 vitality, 7 perception, 6 will, 5 knowledge, 7 charisma, and 6 stealth. Did I mess up on the perception? That perception's probably fine. You can increase your ability scores up to 10 by selecting training feats during your advancement. Hearts, as you would imagine, is your health. It's 10 plus your vitality score, so I've got 18. Your maximum stamina starts at 3. It can go up to 8. And then armor will be dependent on your equipment. I love how everything is very color-coded in the book and also very specific shapes and symbols for everything. And then we have your ways. Fairly confident there are more ways and more kin that got unlocked that I'm seeing in this beta version of the book that were part of the Kickstarter. Maybe it'll be in a separate book. But the ways that are here are the Blade, Magic, Light, Wild, Shadow, and Song. I feel like there was a Hammer one for sure. So Blade is, like you would imagine, a melee character. Magic character. Light being like a caster for blessings and curing allies. Wild, strike monsters with range attacks and find the safest path through the wilderness. Shadow is stealthily doing damage to characters, sneak attacks and stuff. And then Song, supporting your allies with enchanting songs. Now, advancement. When you collect 4 hope, you can collect an additional feat. And this game is going to be all based on quests and good deeds that feed into the advancement, and it's all like a living, breathing world. I love that so much. It might be my favorite part. Also worth noting, you can, instead of taking a feat, you can take on another way and mix and match to like kind of multi-class, which is really cool. So for my way, being the Blade, I had a few options, but I went with the spin attack. When you attack a monster with a melee weapon, you can spend 1 stamina to deal the same damage to up to 2 additional close monsters. You can only use this feat while wielding a 2-handed weapon or 2 one-handed weapons. Very cool. I actually honed right in on the big sword thing, so as you'd imagine, I went with a great sword. Your starting gear is 2 old weapons of choice in padded armor, and then 3d6 was it Zenith, which is your currency. So I went with the old sword. The padded armor has a rating of 1 and it's light. The great sword is d10 damage, takes up 2 slots. It's big, it's an old great sword. I also picked up an old boomerang for d4 damage at far range, because I mean I get 2 things, so why not? Alright, now, how to play. This game is going to be based on a d12, which just may be my favorite die to roll. And it's going to be roll under, so in the case of my strength, which I can use to attack or to parry with, which I think is going to be very strong, I just have to roll under a 9, which is pretty damn good. So it is rolling equal to or lower than, and 1 is the best result, 12 is the worst. 1 is always a critical success, and 12 is always a crit fail. There are modifiers, as you would imagine, for +1 to +3, -1 to -3, depending on the situation, and then also advantage and disadvantage, where you can roll 2d12 and take the lowest or highest, respectfully. Almost becoming a standard in games, which I'm not mad at. This game does use like range zones, which I'm also a big fan of, and then rolling initiative. When the fight starts, each champion and monster rolls a d12 and determine who goes first. If it's matching, you just kind of figure it out. Unless it's a monster and a hero, hero goes first. If you happen to have surprise and initiative, you get advantage on your initiative roll. And sneak attacks seem very deadly. You make a stealth roll, and then you get to attack the monster with advantage, and then it ignores armor. Hell yes. Now this beta version of the book here, coming in at a little over 200 pages, I don't want to hit everything because that would be a lot, but you have your movement and then you have your action. Your action can be anything along the lines of casting a spell, dashing, a defensive stance, helping, etc. But the reactions I really want to get into, because I did misread this the first time. Make a strength roll for parry. If you succeed, you avoid the attack. You can only parry using a melee weapon or shield. You cannot parry range attacks unless you use a shield. So in my case, big sword, I can parry, not range, so that, you know, if I'm just not a super defensive character. But this is kind of neat. You can decide to dodge or parry after seeing the result of the monster's damage roll. Hell yeah. But you can only take 1 reaction until the beginning of your next turn. So that is gonna make it so I'm not just parrying every single attack. That's where it's kind of good that I get to see the damage roll, because I get to parry something that would have been really bad. It looks like the monsters don't roll. Looks like everything is going to be rolled by the player. Player facing rolls, my jam. Really good for solo. Looks like there is some kind of like enemy AI for the monsters, which I also dig that. You can speed it up if you want, but you have like D4, D6 rolls for that, and then 10 status effects. But where I am very excited, and I want to get to this page because I feel like the example, I really want to get into that. There's a whole system for cooking and making potions that I really love, where you make like a dice pool. by choosing the ingredients. You make a charisma roll, you roll on the effect table, and then you produce a certain amount of portions of food or potions. I really want to go into the cooking because I feel like that is less represented in tabletop gaming. So, as an example, you succeed on your charisma roll to cook 2 catfish, 3 bell peppers, and 1 herb. You roll your ingredient pool of 5d8 plus 1 healthy and spicy. So you're getting modifiers from like things that are supporting the dish. So you roll a certain amount of dice based off of what those components or food provide you. So in this case, it scores a 23 with the roll. You have it to 12 and check the result on both the healthy and spicy tables. You can add to your inventory 1d4 portions of spicy fish stew, which recovers 1d8 health and endure cold 1 for 2d4 rounds. I dig that a lot. And there's all of these tables for healthy effects, invigorating effects, refreshing, spicy. They all have their own stuff. I dig that a lot. Of course, they have the elements that are getting captured in the game. Fire beats ice, ice beats wind, wind beats earth, earth beats thunder, thunder beats water, water beats fire. I think I covered all of them with the exception of light and darkness, which beat each other. That's a little weird. And then you have Twilight, which is like the mega element. The best element, which I'm sure is why it's the Twilight sword. Of course, the game has all kinds of spells, legendary items, gear, and all of it looks very evocative of the style that's trying to capture. Your blessings as well. You can attune to heart stones and stamina stones, which increases your pool, and I just love, I don't know, this is so Zelda. Surprisingly, maybe not so surprisingly, but a lot of travel rules. And when I say that, I don't mean that the rules are difficult. There's just a lot of support for traveling, more than I probably would have expected. The weather's, I think, simplified in a cool way where they're just tackling if it's hot, if it's cold, or if it's a storm, and they have tables that support that. I love that there's like rumors for landmarks and descriptions of landmarks. Something that is really cool are the Kokoros. Kokoros? I don't know how you say that, but they are forest sprites, and they also have their own tables for what they look like, what their names are. That is so cool. There's also some rules for like downtime while you're at camp where you can like brew stuff up, take on some projects, make some arrows, etc. Now, this last part of the video that I want to spend some time on because I feel like this is very important, other than the monsters, which are super dope. I love every monster has its own little stat block, which is just I feel like I'm in a video game, and it's just very straightforward for what you need when you're fighting these monsters. I love it. The monster stat blocks are cool. So, and there's quite a few pages of the monsters, but also the bosses too. Bosses they've got a little more to them, as you imagine. All right, so this game is all about hope and despair, your quests and your deeds. There's the amount of hope that you have, and I think it's specific to the region, but every region has like a starting despair. And there's a whole history section and region section where all of this is laid out for you. The more despair in that area, you tend to have like more difficult monsters, so I can imagine where you start on the map, which the map is beautiful. Where you start on the map, probably lesser despair than as you get closer to like the castle in the corner where, was it Vardus, which is presumably your big bad. But pretty much what you want to do is go to each region and you want to lower the despair all the way down, and there are benefits to that. You take on a quest, and within each quest there are deeds, and for every deed you complete within the quest, that gives you a +1 up to a max of 3. You get a +1, and this is all hope. You get 1 hope for completing the quest, 3 if you do the max amount of deeds, which is 4. So if you do the most you can in 1 quest, that'll give you 4 hope, which is enough to provide you with an advancement. So the whole game is based around traveling the world, raising hope, and lowering despair. What's interesting about this though, and this makes the world feel so alive, as you are raising hope and lowering despair, there are developments, which are these triggers based off the changes in those. And those developments can be good, they can be bad, but something happens in the land. Like, for example, a tower may mysteriously appear in the region. I think that's awesome. Love that. You continue to do this throughout the land until you get to the final battle. This is the point where you get the pop-up in the game when you select the quest and it says, "Are you sure you've completed everything? Because you can't go back. Complete everything now before you do this." And you can use those developments to trigger the beginning of the final quest. One last adventure that closes the story, or the current art marking the end of the campaign. This could be the revealing of the real enemy, a chance to carry out an impossible plan, or the final stand to defend a city. This whole region section is just amazing with all of the different stuff that exists there, in addition to what you're going to discover via play. Alright, so yeah, just looking at the beta PDF, I am super excited. If you'd like to see some type of demo of any of this, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And what are your thoughts on Twilight Sword? I feel like this is going to be even more fun once I get my hands on it, because if I recall correctly, there was all kinds of fun little like monster cards and item cards, and they're all squares, and they come in these little like chess boxes, and it's going to be great. And this art is amazing. Amazing. Tell me how amazing the art is down below. Who is this artist? Lead artist, Daniela Gibellini. My goodness. Wow. So good. The graphics design, like, yeah, all amazing. Let me know your thoughts down below regarding Twilight Sword. If you are also in your, between this and Fabula Ultima and maybe some other games like this that get you back to your childhood a little bit. How pumped are you? Don't forget to like this video if you're enjoying the content, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I will see you in the next one as we continue to explore the sacred art of gaming together.